Caroline, I think you can fall into the camp of people who's been like, hey, I've known this for a while. I've known that TPUs are so efficient. Does it really make a difference that you have Meta now buying into this? What does it mean to have a market awaken to the possibilities of what Google has developed?
I think what's different here is before Alphabet had been selling it as part of the cloud winning formula. Come to us, you can use our cloud and you use our TPUs, which are on their 7th generation now. They've been developing these for 10 years. They've been offering them to other clients since 2018. We haven't seen them really sell them specifically to others to use within their data centers, not just Meta, but maybe banks who need to trade at high frequency. That's a clear area of edge for them. So they're starting to get this inbound. In fact, a lot of analysts, Stacey Raxton over there, we've heard also from Bernstein, you've also heard from Gil Luria saying this is kind of an obvious dimension of the business model. The question, though, is what will Nvidia do about it? Now, we've heard before reports from The Information that OpenAI was getting very close to potentially taking TPUs from Google, Alphabet, maybe using their cloud more ever since that relationship when Microsoft got disrupted a bit. And then Nvidia went and put $100 billion into OpenAI and said, oh, please do use our GPUs if you wouldn't like to. What is Meta going to suddenly get offered from Jensen Huang? That's my key question, because you've seen big deals with Anthropic, but Anthropic suddenly has got some more investment from Nvidia as well. There's going to be a tussle at the top here, but be sure, Jensen Huang's been eyeing TPUs for a while, and Alphabet, this has been a winning formula. That's why Gemini 3 has been so efficient, and efficiency's everything. And everyone is locked in not only to the hardware that Nvidia offers, but the entire ecosystem that Nvidia offers. If Alphabet can start to chip away at that and show, look, with us you can have prowess the entire way through, I think there is going to be a real recognition that this is a clear alternative. But remember, the whole vertical integration story, what Google has shown so well is that it can develop incredible models because it's using its own tech stack, and then it's putting it out into the ecosystem. We're all using it. Look what Alibaba is just announcing. They, too, want to be a full vertically integrated company that makes their own chips, that develops the models, that offers it out on their cloud, and then offers the models as well. But also remember, this is what Amazon does. Yes, we're talking about TPUs, but Trainium is on their 3rd iteration. We understand that many people are using not only for training, but are we going to use it not just for inference, but the training of models as well? How much can Amazon start to show its competitive edge as well with its chips, not just its AWS offering?
By the way, maybe you can clear something up. I don't really understand Jensen Huang's argument that the GPUs they sell, what are we in now, Blackwell or Hopper?
Vera Rubin for the next one.
Right, so those are capable of many different things, right? The graphics processing units are flexible, as you may have read last night, whereas the tensor processing units are supposed to be ASICs, so they're application specific. However, if that application is AI,
machine learning,
I don't care if GPUs can show me good graphics. I want AI, right? From these
and I
chips.
think this is where the battleground's going to be. How much efficiency can you wring out from this hardware with the software within it? And if Jensen Huang can say, look, my GPUs have been able to accelerate your AI models, your machine learning that much faster.
Exposure to it. Google calls are expensive. The ball's a little bit high, but it's not necessarily being reached for like we've seen in Nvidia in the past.
And can I ask whether this whole short OpenAI suppliers, long Alphabet suppliers is still working? Because yesterday Oracle pushed higher, but today Oracle's back trading in negative territory before the market opens. Is that long in the tooth, or are we still thinking about that trade?
You know, that's a great question. I don't understand, quite frankly, if everyone's sort of in this together in a lot of ways, why there's been such differentiate to this scale. Now, I get the weaker links were being picked off, but we're looking at CoreWeave and Oracle's down almost 50–40% in their equities, and then obviously we know what's going on with their CDSs. So it looks like we've had that emotional pulse come through the markets, as we often do, and now valuations are sort of reset in a lot of ways, and it's suddenly like going to be a point where people might try to pick bottoms. Now, I'm not calling for that, but I guess to your point, it can't all just go back into Google now. Like, it's got to have this ecosystem of going on.
Apple's next, like, is that the...
Yes.
So at the moment, it's
yes.
Nvidia. Apple's at, what, 4.2 trillion, there or thereabouts?
I think the Apple questions are incredibly fascinating.